Kobe, and today I have a very special guest. Please introduce yourself.
Hi guys, my name is Cecilia McDonald. That's me.
That's her. And you know why? Because she is on this. You see that? A published book. I have friends who are published. Do you want to talk more about your published book?
Yeah, so I wrote it in 2019. Wrote it in 2019, and I didn't plan on writing a book. I was just sort of writing like prompts, and I said I kind of want to do something that like I can do every day and sort of just like flex my writing muscles. And then my friend was like, well, you should put it in a book. And I was like, ah. So I wrote this, Desert Sunflowers.
Yes, this is my personal copy. That's why there's like little marks over here because I love it. I was just like rereading it the other day and I was like, damn. Because I'm such like a words of affirmation kind of person. So like words hit me really hard. So like reading it, I'm gonna cry right now. Just like see how she paints the picture and just like feeling it. Oh my god. Oh my god. So good. So good. I would read some to Gian and he's like, damn. I read it to him because he doesn't read it. Can you tell us like where they can get it?
Yes, you can. Don't worry, I'll read some to you too. You can get it on lulu.com. You just type in the title and it'll show up. And
right.
I think it's available on a link through my Instagram as well.
Instagram's over here. Yes. Also, today we are drinking coffee from Crave. It's a local coffee shop in Corona. And she ordered her usual caramel latte. You like it? Yeah?
Yeah, it's actually really good.
Oh, nice. And I have the toffee nut latte. That's pretty good. Let's dive in. I do have little marks in here.
Wait, are you gonna tell me your favorite part right now?
Yes. Okay. I'm gonna tell you a few of my favorite parts.
Yes, tell me.
All right, so this one I love for myself. You know, it's like it's a nice reminder. You know, I am going through some stuff right now, and especially during the pandemic. You know, rereading this again compared to when I first read the book to now, it's like reading it with fresh eyes a little bit, you know? I'm gonna scream as loud as I want in the sun and cry. And it's okay. It's like validating you, you know, feel your feelings. And then the one that I did read Gian recently that he was like, damn, is how can I believe in another person's soul when I'm still trying to believe in mine?
I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out. I don't know.
And change is one of my favorites. And you have to remember that change can be a feeling and thinking. And it's the one that no one really talks about. Yeah, so would you want to talk about change? Any major changes in your life since the pandemic?
Yes. Let me say, I've only read this book twice. I've only read my own book twice.
I'm over here like,
so she's like, change. I'm like, yeah, I remember that. What I wrote, absolutely. I remember what I said in that paragraph. But yeah, change. Since the pandemic, I think, well, one thing about like the writing communities online, we sort of were like, what are you doing during COVID to like write? This is like the perfect time for you to be writing.
oh.
I didn't agree with that because I was like, you know, during this like really traumatic time, I don't think I'm the type of person. I just feel very icky trying to like turn my pain into profit, and like I'm not for purchase. I'm a human being.
Ooh.
So I sort of just like didn't write anything, you know, during the pandemic because I was like, this sucks. Like I haven't even processed anything that's happening. I think I'm just now like, oh, like we were in a pandemic, a bunch of bad things happened.
Yeah.
So right now I'm just sort of like, okay, I think now I'm going through that change, but since that, the only major change was really just like being more confident as a writer.
Ooh. All right. I like that. You know, like you said, in a pandemic, I feel like people just kind of expect creatives to just start hashing out work because they're cooped up, they're inside, they have like, you know, this is the time or whatever. But I like how you mentioned like there's a different side of that too. Like, you don't always have to make your work as a profit. Like, we do these things for fun, like, you know. Can we just remind you that like just having that outlet is like enough for our mental health? So do you want to expand on like just using your outlet as your writing?
Yeah.
And how you got started with that and stuff?
Let me see. I'm trying to think because I'm like, oh, I've always been a writer. But I've always been a writer, you know?
She has. Okay, side note, we have been friends since high school. We met like sophomore year. I think it was language arts class.
Okay, you know, I was trying to remember, I was like, what class did we have together?
She was even in like video production.
Yeah, and journalism.
In journalism, yeah. And she's always like super like creative, like, oh my god, like I want her brain. Since then, she's been like involved in other creative outlets, like in college. If you want to expand about that.
Yeah, so in college, I had a radio show for 3 semesters. I was on the radio with a couple of friends, which was really fun.
Yeah,
just, like,
I remember that.
Be on the radio and be like, oh, this song next, here it comes. Leave the door open, Bruno Mars.
Oh, you hear that voice? Like, that's radio voice.
And so, yeah, I did that for a while, and then I just really liked, like, that medium, sort of just, like, not being on camera. So I started a podcast with a friend, and we did that for a couple of years, and then I think right when the pandemic hit, we, like, tried to do an episode, and I was like, I'm not feeling this anymore. I'm not feeling creative at all. Like, this is not it for me. So we're on a break from the podcast, and currently I am part of a writers group, just like exchanging scripts and like keeping each other accountable when it comes to our writing, which has been really fun. And I get a lot of questions from people that are like, when are you gonna do another book? When are you gonna do another book? I have like 50 pieces just sitting in a Google Drive folder. Plus 2 manuscripts that are like book length, where I'm like,
whoa,
I don't know, maybe we'll do something.
So you said like during the pandemic you were just like not feeling it. Was there like other ways that you cope besides writing and all that?
Okay, this is kind of embarrassing. Like, this is, I don't know if I'm a little embarrassing. I really got into like K-dramas.
Oh my god, so did my mom.
I'm gonna have to talk to her because I got some opinions and I'm like,
you know my mom is cool. She'd be like, Crash Landing?
Stop. That is my favorite one.
I love it. I love it.
Which is interesting because like, I feel like for me, when it comes to being a creative and especially being a writer, I go through these periods where I just like consume everything I can, you know, like consume. And then for a while, I won't watch anything. I'll barely listen to a podcast. I'll barely listen to music. And I'm just like writing. My thing is like, I'll be like, okay, I'm thinking about writing. I'm thinking about it. So I'm pretty sure soon I'm going to actually do something about it. So maybe another book is coming.
Oh! Did she just say that on here?
I don't know, bestie.
Oh, snap. So, you said like when you are in the zone, you just like that. Have you seen Soul?
No, I haven't seen it yet. I'm sorry.
But there's this thing that they call the zone. Like this is where like they really lose themselves. Like it's their passion. They think it's, you know, this is it.
Yeah.
Do you feel that when you're writing?
I go back and forth. Days where I think I'm like Ernest Hemingway, but like better, you know?
Yeah.
I'm like, this guy didn't know what he was talking about. I do. And then there are days where I'm like, this is garbage, and I'm gonna delete everything and throw it away. And then I do. So, but when I do get in the zone, like, I feel like really happy and just like relaxed and like, yes. And my thing with writing is like I never try to edit myself as I'm writing because then I just never start or like never finish. So I'm just like, even if this sentence doesn't make sense, I'm just gonna type it out and maybe it'll lead to something else and then we'll fix it in post.
Okay.
So yeah, that's like the process for me.
Yeah. And also it's crazy because, you know, back in the Tumblr days,
Tumblr!
I would like read her stuff too.
And I'm still on Tumblr. So listen, side note, it's a very good website, I think, especially when we are on social media sites that kind of just like don't post things in chronological order. You get an ad every 3 posts.
That's true.
Tumblr is not as wild as it used to be. So if you're still on there.
There we go. This is the real OGs.
Yeah.
I feel like that's how we journal too, you know?
Do you journal?
I do. I used to a lot more before.
Right.
Yeah, and I had like a personal, you know, you can make like a personal Tumblr.
Yeah.
So I would have that and I would just keep like doing things on the side and I'm like, okay, I feel good. And I feel like within the past few years, I haven't been able to do that.
Right.
So like, it wasn't until I like started this that I actually started working on like my mental health, I guess, and like reflecting on the things that I see, especially at work every day.
I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah, so it like really hit me that I'm like, wow, I haven't reflected on anything because I haven't really written or like journaled. And before I used to try to journal every day, and then yeah, so I guess this is my new way of doing that. Do you journal?
Yes. I have a thing. I know some people are like, oh, I just type on the computer.
Yeah.
I'm not that person. I like the physical act of writing.
Yeah.
Even when it came to like this book, I pretty much wrote everything out by hand first.
Wow.
And then I typed it because I don't know, there's something about just like the physical motion that connects to my brain, to like my creative energy where I'm like, yes, this is it. You know that SpongeBob meme where it's like,
and it's just
And it's crazy because even during COVID, like I said, I wasn't writing, I wasn't doing anything creative because I was just like, I don't want to.
Yeah.
Like this world sucks. I don't want to do anything right now.
Yeah, it drains you.
Yeah. And I don't feel like as creatives, we should always feel the need to perform or like be on for people. I think as a society, we've sort of taken that as an advantage and sort of ran with it. But I don't think it's necessary for you to always like create or to turn something into a hobby. Or like I said, to turn your pain into profit. Like just be and do what you want to do for the act and the sake of doing it.
You, for yourself. Yeah, exactly. I feel like this episode is so different because, and I love it because we're not like doing anything that helps you cope. Like I'm delving into another creative's mind and see like how they try to like keep like, I don't know, their space and cope with it or not. And like, it's not always like, oh, I love this all the time. Like sometimes it feels like work.
Yeah. That like whole like stay positive, be positive, it gets draining. And like, I think sometimes it may have a bit more of a negative effect than a positive effect, you know? And I'm always one who's been like, okay, I'm feeling like really bad today. I feel really sad. I don't feel like anything. I'm actually going to sit with this emotion and like acknowledge it and like talk to it and see where we can move forward from here. And if that takes a day, I'll do it. If it takes 3 weeks, like it just is what it is. But I think that's been how I've been able to sort of cope with just like life in general. It was funny because I read this tweet, I think, where someone was like, I hold my sadness's hand when I'm feeling sad. And so that's what I do with like a lot of negative emotions or just emotions that don't feel the best. I sort of hold its hand and I'm like, okay, so we're sitting here today. This is what we're gonna do. Tell me what you think, you know? And just sort of work it through there. Sometimes it's not the best feeling and I feel really bad. And I cut everybody off for a little bit.
Oh my God. I felt that one.
Some days I'm like, I just need to talk to somebody. Like, are you listening? And then other days I'm just gonna write it all out. And then after a while I'm like, okay. But then like being with you and experiencing this and seeing what other creatives are doing, it gives me like a better feeling and like more energy. And I feel more validated just like as a creative person.
Yes. And you being here validates me too.
Solid.
Oh my gosh. I feel like renewed in a way because also we are reconnecting right now. Like it's been a long time. You know, especially with COVID, that didn't help. But it's like I feel like our dynamic, we can like check in on each other like randomly here and there and just be like, hey, let's reconnect. It just warms my heart when your own friends, like, you know, like you grew up with and then you see them do big things. It's like, dang, like her face is on a book. Like,
I took that picture myself. I did that.
Ooh,
I'm a photographer. Hit me up.
Yes. Have you like learned something new about like your mental wellness recently, especially during COVID? Or, like,
I feel like I have. I think it's more so just like prioritized things for me of just like what's important, what I need to do, what I want my future to look like, what I want to do in the present. And I know for a lot of people, like this past year was, you know, really hard. So for me, I think I've always been the person who's been like a listening ear for a lot of people. And I got tired of that a little bit.
I'm sure.
You know what? I don't want to listen to you and your problems. I'm sure you have them and like, hey, like, I see you, bestie. Like, I got you, girl. And I think you've mentioned it before with like friendships and stuff. It's a two-way street.
Yes.
Relationships, friendships, anything, it's a two-way street. Like, I understand you're going through things, but also I'm going through things, and I can't carry your burden for you, and I'm not gonna do that. So I think for me, it was more so just like solidifying that for myself and just being like, okay, this is what you can do now for this person, or this is what you can do now for yourself. But if you don't want to do it, don't do it. You know? And as an Aries, I never do anything I don't want to do.
So much passion.
Yes.
Speaking of fire, the apology.
Look, you can even a little sneak peek in here.
Yes. Do you want to read a little sneak peek from the apology letter?
Sure. This was to anyone who ever hurt my feelings ever. And in the future. This was actually my favorite part to write. You're hurt, good. Hurt some more until it kills you. Once your soul is good and dead, I'm going to hang you upside down by your feet. I'll expose your insides to show everyone you were never good. On display for the rest of the world. No proper burial. That's reserved for people who meant something. People who will be remembered. No one is going to remember you. Everything about you will vanish, long lost and forgotten. It hurt her.
Did you feel that? Oh my god, I felt that like my whole body.
I was mad.
She was mad.
Pretty mad.
Don't get her mad. Reading stuff like that, it makes you like validated too. Like you have the right to be mad. Like it's okay to be mad.
I love angry women. You know, people that I tend to look up to for that trope is Amy Dunn from Gone Girl.
She loves Gone Girl.
It's a romantic comedy, and if you haven't seen it, I think watch it with your significant other. I think it'll be a really great movie for you guys to watch together. It'll really, you know, solidify some things in the relationship and just bring up some really great points.
Yes.
Yeah. It'll really strengthen your love. So, Gone Girl, watch it.
We can talk about so many different topics, and it's all in her book. Like, so versatile.
Thank you. When I wrote this book, like, just the publishing schedule, I had to do that myself because I was like, well, obviously you're self-publishing, you do everything. And I didn't have the money to like outsource and hire like someone to do marketing, someone to do beta editing. Like I didn't have that. So what I did was I took a physical calendar because like I said, I like to write things out. I took a physical calendar and I did it, let me see. I want to say I wrote the last piece for that in August, like August 1st or something like that. And then I looked at my calendar and I said, okay, obviously on the weekend, I'm not gonna want to do anything. So I made like a let me see, the book came out in November?
Yeah.
So how many months is that? I don't do math. So,
Me neither.
I did like a 3-month. I did like a 3-month publishing schedule on my calendar. And I said, okay, once it's done, like once I was done, I was like, I'm not gonna look at anything, like I'm not gonna write anything. I'm just gonna let it exist in this Google Drive folder and just sit there.
Yeah.
Then I wrote out the schedule and I was like, okay, this week will be for editing. Like I don't want to rush myself.
Yeah.
So I did like 3 weeks of editing and rewrite, just editing. Then I did 2 weeks of rewrites.
Oh, wow.
Then I did another 2 weeks of editing.
Wow.
Then I designed the cover. And yeah. And then I did like a month where I just sat with it again and just like didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And then I got the editor's copy of it, which is like the proof copy. Read through that, fixed anything else, then re-uploaded everything, and then just sat there and I was like, should I actually do this? Like, I don't know. And then my friend was like, you already wrote it, just publish it. And so there it was.
There it was. Dang. Well, I'm glad you did.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I mean, like I said, I feel like it's validated me just as a creative person and as a writer. So, I mean, if anyone's interested in just writing, everyone always says, like, just write. It's not that easy to just write. But I think if you just think of it as a muscle that you have to sort of flex every day, it gets a little bit easier. But then there are, you know, there are going to be those times and, like, those periods where you don't do anything. You know,
you just gotta sit with that too.
Yeah, or you go back and you reread some of the stuff that you've written, like I do, and then I'm like, let me fix this right here, and then I end up on like 10 pages, and I'm like, oh, great,
nice,
perfect,
nice,
yeah.
Well, thank you for being, for giving me this time.
I'm so happy I was here.
Thank you for being vulnerable.
Of course.
And like having so much words of wisdom. Like I was really
wisdom.
I just love picking at your brain.
Oh, there's a lot that goes on up here. So. Thank you for having me. I would love to come back if you guys like me enough.
Yes. We told each other 2021 will be better.
Because it's been so long.
It has been so long.
Can you put a picture of us?
Oh my gosh.
Right here.
Do you remember like we took a picture outside of the band room?
Yes.
It
shows up on my Facebook like every now and then. And I'm like,
this is fun.
We're so cute.
Oh my gosh. Wow. It's been more than a decade that we've known each other. It has to be.
Yeah. And look at her now in her YouTube channel.
Oh my gosh.
I'm a subscriber. So.
Also, tomorrow's her birthday. Aries. I don't know if you know the sign off. She did it better than me. That's it. I'm just gonna end it there. Bye. Bye. Thanks, guys. Oh, also, before I forget, she kindly enough brought 3 copies of Desert Sunflowers. I am doing another giveaway. These 3, and she's gonna sign it. And so rules are gonna be in the description, so tune in. I'll probably have a lot more information on Instagram also, so thanks guys, enter the giveaway!
You get a signed copy!
Signed copy! Yay. Oh my gosh, I love it.
It's the feeling of nostalgia during summer.
Yes, and summer's coming up, so hey.
Perfect.
Aries season, baby. Gemini season. Let's go. Okay, bye guys! You're so loud.
This is so fun.
Oh, I'm glad you had